Hi all, welcome to Tech Forum. In this video, let us see how to embed Facebook post, pages and videos to a website through OEmbed API. In our earlier videos, we have seen what is OEmbed API and how to embed Twitter feeds to websites through OEmbed API. You can refer to these videos. What is OEmbed protocol? Then embedding third-party resources with OEmbed. And this one, embed tweets and timelines to website through OEmbed API. Facebook OEmbed endpoints allows you to get the embed HTML and basic metadata for pages, posts and videos in order to display them in another website or app. There are two versions of Facebook OEmbed APIs. One is legacy and the other one is latest version. The difference is the new Facebook OEmbed API endpoints requires access token to fetch the data. Even the public post and videos requires the access token to fetch the data. But the legacy one not require the access token, but that version is deprecated now. The OEmbed API details can be referred from here. developers.facebook.com documents then OEmbed. This shows the API endpoint details and the request and response details. The legacy one is from here, OEmbed legacy. This API is now deprecated. The API endpoints are different between the legacy one and the latest one. Also, the latest API requires the access token to fetch the data. Some of the common use cases of using Facebook OEmbed API. The first one is rendering Facebook pages, posts and videos in messaging apps. Second one is embedding Facebook pages, posts and videos in websites and blogs. Also rendering Facebook pages, posts and videos in a content management system. Let us see some of the prerequisites to integrate Facebook OEmbed API with websites and apps. The first one is a Facebook developer account, which you can create at developers.facebook.com. Then you should be registering a Facebook app in developers.facebook.com. The OEmbed product added to the app, then access token, and the Facebook app should be in live mode to access the API. These are the different endpoints to access pages, videos and posts. OEmbed page, get a Facebook pages embed HTML and the basic metadata. OEmbed post, get a Facebook post embed HTML and basic metadata. Then OEmbed video, get a Facebook videos embed HTML and basic metadata. The API requires access token to fetch the data. If you can see access token, then we are sending the access token value. Even the access token can be passed as a HTTP request parameter instead of passing through this URL get parameters, so that we can see during the demo. Refer to these URLs to identify the request parameters required to invoke the API endpoints and to identify the response attributes. OEmbed post, these are the parameters: max width, then omit script. By default, the embed HTML returns the JavaScript required to render the HTML in the website, but we can set it as a false so that the JavaScript will not be returned. Then we can specify the SDK locale, then URL, the post URL, then use iframe if you want the response in iframe. Then the response attributes: author name, author URL, height, HTML. This is the embed HTML. Then provider name, provider URL, type, version and width. The next one is OEmbed video. The parameters are different. Here max width, omit script, SDK locale and URL. Also the response attributes are little different. Author name, most are same, so you can refer to this. Then OEmbed page. Again the parameters are different. Adopt container width, height, cover, then max height. Yeah, you can refer to this. Also the attributes are little different. The next one is URL structures or schemas can be used to fetch the data through OEmbed API. For pages, these are the schemas we can use: page name or page ID. For post, page name, post ID, or for user specific post, then post ID or activity ID, then photo ID, then again page or user ID we can use it. So for videos, we can again use page name, videos, video ID, or user specific video, or like this syntax we can use video ID or video ID. So same details you can refer from here, the OEmbed endpoint details. We discussed about this in our earlier videos. OEmbed.com providers.json. If you search for Facebook, you can see the schemas for OEmbed post. These are all supported. Then for OEmbed video, these three are supported, and also for OEmbed pages, anything with Facebook.com is supported. The Facebook OEmbed endpoints require either an app access token or client access token to access the endpoints. App access tokens, this allows us to access the APIs from backend server. App access tokens should never be used client side, should always be kept secure and stored on your server. App access token should never be hard coded into client side code. Doing so will give the ability to modify your app by the external users. App token rate limits allow for up to 5 million requests per day. Client access token access the OEmbed endpoint from a user agent such as a mobile device or web browser. This must be combined with your app ID. The syntax is access token equal to 1234, that is the client access token, and pipe symbol, then the app ID. Client token rate limits are lower than app token rate limits. The actual value is not revealed. Their limit is depending on your app activity. Let us quickly see a demo. As a first step, we should be defining a app. So for that, developers.facebook.com, then you can go into my apps. Then there is an option create app. Click on that. So you can select one of the option, consumer, business, or even you can select none. Means it will have both the permissions, consumer and business permissions. So I am selecting this. Click on continue. Then app display name, I am just keeping as test for now. Then enter a app contact email. Then do you have a business manager account? This is optional. I am not going with that. Click on create app. Yeah, so select this, that's fine. Submit. Okay, now the app is created. Now add a product. For that, search for OEmbed. You can see this. Yeah. Click on setup. I agree, this fine, confirm. It's added now. That's fine. Now go into settings. Okay, go into basic. Yeah, you should be like setting a privacy policy URL also. So I have a policy URL. I will set this. Okay, any other configurations required, you can do that. That's fine. Now click on save changes. Yeah, this is looking fine. I'm going to use OEmbed page endpoint to access the page details for this technology forum page. Then we need to pass the access token. For that, we need the client access token and the app ID. So let's fetch that. Let's go here. Like you can go to the advanced. You can get the client token here. Yeah, just I'm copying this. Okay, I'm going to add it here. This is the client token. Now I need the app ID. So let me go and copy the app ID. Go to basic. This one is fine. I'm going and putting it here. Let me execute this now. You can see this 400 bad request. Also the message says this endpoint requests app to be in live mode. Right now our app is in development mode. Let's go and make it is live mode. So change it to live. So before making this, the privacy URL should be enabled, but we already completed that. So that's fine. I'm going and switching the mode. Okay, now it's in live. So let me go and execute again. Now you can see the response. This has the HTML embed also. Let me copy the HTML embed here. So provider URL. Yeah, this is the start of the HTML. Then this one is the end. I'm copied. I'm going and decoding this. So I'm going to use this decoder, Unicode decoder. Paste it here, convert. Yeah, this is fine. Now I am going to a sample page. Okay, let me add it here. Okay, this is fine. Let me quickly access this page. Okay, OEmbed facebook.html. Now the actual page is displayed or embedded into the website. The same way we can access the video and the post details. So this is one of my sample video URL. So again, OEmbed video. This is the encoded video URL, the same URL encoded and kept it here. Then same thing, we need to use this app ID and the client access token. So quickly I can execute this. Yeah, this will give you the HTML embed. You can copy that and embed into your website. Same way, if I access this for post, this will give the HTML embed. Let us now see how to access the endpoints through app token. So earlier we have seen how to access through client token, but now we are going to access through app token. As a first off, we should be getting the app token. For that, I am going to execute this curl command. So access token, we should be passing the client ID and client secret. This is my client ID, means this is the app ID, and I should be getting the client secret. For that, again, go into this app basic, and you can see here app ID and app secret. Click on show. Yeah, so enter this and go and keep it here. This is fine. I'm going to execute this. Also here, if you see here grant type, it is client credentials. So that's fine. I'm going to execute this. Yeah, I got the access token. So it's the same thing like app ID and the actual access token. So I can keep this. Okay, so I'm replacing this completely. Fine. Now I am going and executing. I am going to execute this OEmbed post for this specific post URL. Now you can get the HTML embed code, and the same can be embedded into your website. Same way you can execute other endpoints like video or page. There is another method to make the calls to the endpoint that doesn't require the generated app access token. You can just pass the app ID and the app secret. If you see here, the endpoint, then access token equal to your app ID and the app secret. You don't want to generate the app access token to invoke the endpoint. So this is the example one. I am going to access OEmbed post for this specific post URL. Then this is my app ID and this is my app secret. So directly I can execute this URL to get the HTML embed. Yeah, now I received the HTML embed. As we discussed earlier, the access token can also be added as a HTTP request header. If you see here, I am not adding the access token as a get parameter. Earlier we were adding like this. So if you go and see here access token, then the access token value, but here I am not adding, but I am adding a header, authorization, bearer, then the access token. Let me quickly execute this. You can see the API response with HTML embed. If you see here, every API response includes the script to render the HTML into your website. This is the script connect.facebook.net, then stk.js. But if you are going to enable multiple embeds into a same page, the script will be duplicated. For that, you can add this script into the head section of your website and use omit script parameter to ignore the script as part of the API response. Let us quickly execute this. So here if you see, I added the additional parameter omit script equal to true. So let me execute. Okay, now let me copy this HTML. Okay, decode. Yeah, now if you see here, the script is not included. That's all for today. The Facebook OEmbed API helps us to embed the post, videos and the pages into our website. I will be sharing the API details in the video description. Thanks all for watching the video. See you in the next video.